During the last few months, a question always goes through my mind of how long can I keep this going? I'm not sure if you could see by looking at the sky how hazy the sky is today. So apparently in Northern California, there's some forest fires, also in Oregon. And all of that smoke is being blown down to the Bay Area. So today's air quality is unhealthy. So I'm not going on a hike today. I was supposed to go on a hike with Eli. Do any of you remember Eli? He was in one of my previous videos. We went on a hike together. I got to talk to him about his practice. Well, anyways, none of that stuff is happening today. So I do have a couple of errands to make. Also, I want to talk to you about my YouTube channel, where it's going, and also how it's staying alive. If any of this sounds interesting to you, come join me. Okay, the first thing we have to do is make Kendra coffee, so I'm going to get on that.
Thank you, Silviu.
There you go. Hi, Chicky. Okay, that major task is done. I need to head to the grocery store. Tonight is pizza night. Kendra makes homemade pizza on Wednesday night, so I gotta go to the store to pick up a couple things. So let's go. Hello, how you doing?
Good yourself?
So far, okay, thank you. Okay, back from the store, we got all the goods. Earlier I mentioned that Kendra makes the pizza. The only thing I do is make the pizza dough and the sauce. We already have leftover sauce, so I'm gonna get on the dough. Okay, we got our all-purpose flour. It's got 11.7% protein content. I'm gonna get about 3 3/4 cup of flour in there. I'm gonna weigh it actually to get a little more precise. Okay, I'm gonna get about 1 pound and 4 ounces. This will make dough for 2 pizzas. To that, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of yeast, about 1.5 teaspoons of salt, a little bit of sugar to help with the yeast. Here's a shortcut I do. I'm going to throw all of this in the food processor. I know it's not traditional. I'm going to blend this together for about 10 seconds. I have about 1 1/3 cups of water with 3 tablespoons of olive oil. That's going to give it a good flavor. Pour that in. Okay, once it's clumped up like that, I let it rest for about 2 minutes. I'm going to hit this for another 15 seconds or so. I would say this dough looks perfect. Just going to knead it for a little bit. Get it into a little ball. We're going to cover this bowl and let it rest for about 6 to 7 hours. That way it rises and also ferments a little. Have a good nap, little ones. Okay, I thought I was going to head off and find somewhere quiet to talk. But my wife just left to pick up the kids from school. So nobody's here except for me and our dog Chicory. I want to talk about my YouTube channel. So earlier I mentioned I was supposed to go on a hike with Eli. Eli happens to be a supporter on my Patreon page. If it wasn't for Patreon, I would not be making this video right now. So I kind of want to talk about my YouTube channel and where it's going. I think first off, I have to thank my wife, Kendra, because of her financial support, I was able to create a YouTube channel and get it off the ground. If you watched my very first YouTube video, you've probably noticed a big difference in quality. So slowly over time, I've upgraded my equipment. Sometimes stuff breaks and I have to replace it. So Patreon has been really the way I've been able to keep all of this going. Looking at the future of my YouTube channel, I want to invest more time in creating videos, editing videos, meeting with more teachers, perhaps even going to different Buddhist and Zen centers and giving a tour of these places, because there's a lot around in my area. In order to do this, I have to really grow my channel and I have to grow the Patreon community. In order to sustain and grow this YouTube channel and the teaching content, I really need help with your support. There's many ways to support this channel. The first is the easiest. If you're connecting with these videos, you finding some value from it, if it's helping your life in any way, just subscribing, liking the videos, commenting on the videos, sharing the videos with people you think may benefit from them, that's really probably the most important. Another way of really supporting my YouTube channel is joining the Patreon community. Now, I think my Patreon page is probably different from anybody else's. Usually there's tiers in Patreon. Perhaps on a lower level, you pay $5 a month, then there's $10 a month, maybe 20, 50, 100. And maybe at the lower level, you get a little thing, and at the highest level, you get all of these different things. On my Patreon page, every tier, you get the same thing. All of the levels, all of the tiers have access to my website content. So if you log into my website, you have access to the live stream recordings, all recordings to all of the workshops that I've done. I have audio podcasts from the interviews that I have with some of the Buddhist and Zen teachers I've been meeting with. And sometimes I'll give a weekly teaching that you can access as well. My channel is really not big enough right now to take advantage of any monetizing on YouTube. So I'm really relying on the Patreon community. During the last few months, a question always goes through my mind of how long can I keep this going? And I'm not really sure. I know right now I can definitely keep this going. I have this crazy idea of having 100 people support me on Patreon. This will definitely allow me to sustain and grow my YouTube channel. I'm going to put a link down below if you want to help support my project. Again, I want to thank everybody who's supporting on Patreon, and I want to thank all the supporters from the very beginning of my YouTube channel. Without you, this wouldn't exist. So thank you, everyone. And as always, I hope to see you very soon.